let's get started. Okay, so today's learning objectives, we are actually looking at how punctuation works. There must be a function to it, right? So certain punctuations actually has certain impact in terms of your writing. Okay, so we'll focus on punctuations today. That's the main objective for today's lesson. But of course, at the same time, we are also going to cover, I have marked, I think Zhe Kai did his homework. Yes, yeah. I have looked through it. I've given you some comments. Okay, Jerusha is here. Yeah, so like I was just sharing with Yunchen just now, I will highly recommend for you to do right, your homework, attempt it, and I will always try to, before the lesson, right, before the next tutorial, give you some comments on your homework. Okay, in terms of your writing, even in terms of the different components in your paper two, I will also give you comments on how to improve. So it's always good to make it a habit to do your work. Yeah. Okay, Jerusha, welcome to the class. We were just thinking of, so your name starts with J, same as Zhe Kai. So you have to think of an adjective that describes you. Okay, maybe because I'm going to start my lesson soon, so maybe just keep in mind, and maybe later at the end of the class you can share with us. Okay. All right. Now, and also, right, today's learning objectives, as mentioned, we're going to cover punctuations and their uses, and also these are actually we're going to go through the questions in your homework actually. Okay. And also, I'm going to highlight some of the answering techniques in terms of comprehension as well. Actually, if you notice, there are two comprehension texts. Visual text is a form of comprehension test as well, because you have to understand, right? By the term comprehension, it means to understand. So for the visual text, which is found in your section A of your paper, you are expected to do 8 MCQ questions, okay? So there will be 8 MCQ questions that stems from your visual text. But it is also a form of comprehension, and a lot of times there will be questions that you need to find information from the text. You need to be able to infer what is the meaning, okay? Then after that, we are also going to go to another comprehension, which is your okay, I think this one is not open-ended, but it's MCQ. Okay, this one. Yeah. And then in the middle, we're just going to cover some synthesis and transformation questions. For synthesis and transformation, there is a certain pattern to it. So if you're just very familiar with all the different question types that can come out for synthesis and transformation, then you should be doing very well. Okay. For synthesis, I will always say it's not difficult to score. Each question is 2 marks, right? So as long as you're very familiar with it, you have been practicing a lot, then that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. Okay. So first things first, visual text. Now I mentioned the objectives is to look at different punctuations and their functions in a piece of text. So let's have a look at this. Okay. Right. So bolded capital letters are large in size. Now this one is like the heading, right? The bolded and capital letters over here is the one that is circled, right? Why do you think they are bolded? Okay, this one is a title, it's a heading. It tells you that this part is important. Okay, so the main thing is they are to catch the target audience's attention. So this is what we call a typographical feature, right? That is the reason why they do not make all the fonts the same, right? So it is a typographical feature, and they purposely make it caps. And also, caps means capital letter, right? They purposely make it all caps and bold, okay? Because it's then, the biggest, and also it will help to catch the reader's attention, okay? And then there is also a reason. It could be to maybe excite the reader, right? For a sense of excitement, or it could be a sense of urgency as well. Like help, help, right? So in this case, it can be either one of these reasons. Yeah. Okay, then we'll move on. Okay, this piece of text, maybe you might want to just quickly skim through it. Okay, I'm going to zoom in because I know it's really small. Yeah. So this festive season, give yourself the gift of a best friend, right? So you notice a best friend is also in bold, right? They have bolded it. Come down to our adoption drive and find yourself a canine partner. We guarantee you will fall in love at first sight. These little ones have unfaltering affection to last you for a lifetime. What are you waiting for? Come on down. Our puppy pals need a loving home. Puppies for adoption need love and shelter. Okay, so these are the information, the date, the time, the venue. So some of the available dates, okay, dates with apostrophe, yeah. So there is a reason. Remember, today we are focusing on punctuation. So as we go along, you might want to think of some of the punctuation which you've encountered so far, yeah. So Yumi is the first date, okay. Yumi's soulful eyes will make you instantly go, oh, can you resist her loving gaze? Yumi loves snuggles and will curl up in your lap if you sit on the floor. Okay, the second date, okay, the second date is Zara, 6 months old female beagle mix. Zara is a bouncy, happy little girl who loves the outdoors. If you like leading an active lifestyle, Zara is the perfect girl for you. She cannot wait to go on a walk with you. And date number 3, Charlie and Whiskey, 5 months old, male huskies. These brothers have lush thick coats and need to live in a house with air conditioning. Friendly and cheeky, these boys would ideally be adopted together. If they are separated, we prefer that they go to relatives or friends who can let them keep in contact. Okay, so this is basically for visual text. Generally, there will be different genres. Okay, but of course, I would think that this is considered like an advertisement. Okay, it's trying to advertise something, right? So it can be also, of course, an informative text. It can be a web page. Sometimes visual text is in the form of a web page. Okay, but in this case, this is an advertisement, right? So capital letters, okay. Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, they actually have capital letters with just PALS. Basically, it indicates an acronym. Okay, so what do we mean by acronym? Can you give me an example? Yes, Yunquan.
I wasn't raising my hand.
Oh, I thought you were raising your hands. Zhekai, you have something to say? Yes, Zhekai. Joyful Zhekai.
FBI.
FBI. Okay, what does FBI stands for?
I only know federal. I don't know what's the B, and federal what investigation.
Yes, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Very good. I think you probably encountered it a lot in movies, right? FBI, the FBI, right? Okay, and Yunjin, are you also raising your hands or are you not? No, I thought you were raising your hands. Okay, so there are some examples below, like for example, MOE, you must be very familiar with that. What's MOE? Yes, Diana.
I just thought of the one, SCDF.
What is that? What CDF is it?
SCDF.
SCDF. Okay, that would be your
Singapore Civil Defense Force.
yeah, that's right. Okay, I think Yunxuan wants to tell us what is MOE.
Is it Ministry of Education?
Very good. Okay, Ministry of Education. So sometimes those words rather those capital letters basically indicate an acronym. Okay, I have no idea what BTS stands for. I know it's a Korean boy band, but I have no idea what it stands for. Does any of you know what it stands for? Any of you are like K-pop fans? No? Okay, I don't know what BTS is, yeah? Right? So anyway, these are just some examples, right? Okay, let's move on, yeah? What about inverted commas? So remember I said dates, right? Inverted commas. So what does the inverted comma tell us? Interesting punctuation such as inverted commas tells us that the words that are used are actually deliberate. Okay, it has it's something like a word play. It's trying to suggest something else. Do they really mean it's a date? Do you know what does it mean by a date? If someone is bringing you on a date, okay, maybe it's a bit early for you guys, but if someone brings you on a date, what does it mean? Actually, date has multiple meanings, isn't it? Right? What is the date that you know of?
Going out to eat.
Yes, okay, going out to eat, like basically it's just going out, right? I have a date with my friend, right? So let's just going out. But of course, date can also mean the day of the month or day of the week. Okay. And also there is another date which is do you know red dates? Right? And then in some culture, I think for Hari Raya, they also eat a lot of dates. Right? So it's like a kind of I think it's a fruit, a date. Yes, Jakai, you're raising your hands.
I think it's also in China.
In China, you
Yeah,
mean the which one?
red dates.
Ah, red dates, yeah. Okay, basically it's like a fruit, yeah. So date has multiple meanings, but of course the date here basically is mean going out. But going out is a verb, right? When you're going dating. But a date can also be a person, okay? A person whom you go out with. So he is my date. Okay, my husband is my date. So my husband is my date means he's someone whom I go out with. Yeah. So it can also be a person whom one has a date with. So in this case, this date can be a noun. It's a noun if you're referring to the person. It can also be a verb, right? If you go on a date. Yeah. Okay. So this one, apostrophe, does it mean that these dogs are your real dates, as in, you go out on like a romantic date? No, right? So they're just making it more fun and playing around with the words. Okay. So this one is to suggest something else. Okay. What about exclamation mark over here? Exclamation mark gives you the impact of indicating excitement. Okay, so exclamation indicates excitement, right? As well as urgency. So you will need to assess. Sometimes you might be asked why is the writer's choice of punctuation and exclamation mark? Okay, and they might just ask you what is the writer trying to imply? What is the writer trying to say? So you have to make sense of why this writer chose exclamation mark. Is it for urgency? Is it excitement? It's not always excitement. Sometimes it's because of urgency, right? So why? So you need to assess why is there a need for exclamation mark. By reading the sentence means basically you need to find clues. Okay, there will be some contextual clues to give you some idea of why the writer uses an exclamation mark. Okay, so this one it's exclamation mark. We have covered open inverted commas, covered typographical features at the top, right? So next yeah, so this one is just to reiterate that exclamation mark is usually when a strong emotion is being expressed, whether good or bad. Okay, it can be good like excitement or delight or surprise, but it can also be negative as in anger, fear, or shock. Okay, but generally it is really to emphasize, is to add emphasis to a sentence. Are we clear so far? Yeah. Yeah, so as a writer, sometimes it's also good to use a variety of punctuation. Of course, you have to use it properly.